My girlfriend's sister stole a $250,000 inheritance meant for me, and when I found out, I made sure her life imploded in the most public way possible. So, let's rewind a bit. I'd been with my girlfriend, let's call her Chloe, for about 5 years. Her family was a lot. Her parents were fine, a bit traditional, but decent people. The real problem was her older sister, Jessica. Jessica was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong, and she hated my guts from day one. Why? Because I wasn't some rich guy from a family she could brag about. I was just a regular dude, a graphic designer, making a decent living but not exactly rolling in it. She made it her life's mission to break us up, always dropping little comments, trying to make Chloe doubt our relationship. It was exhausting. Like, get a hobby, dude. The inheritance came from my godmother, Eleanor. She was this amazing, eccentric old lady who was basically my second mom. She had no kids of her own and always told me she'd take care of me. When she passed away, it was devastating. A few weeks later, her lawyer called me. He told me Eleanor had left me her entire estate, which after all was said and done, amounted to about $250,000. I was floored. This was life-changing money. It meant a down payment on a house, maybe starting my own business. I was so excited, I immediately told Chloe, and that, my friends, was my first mistake. Chloe was thrilled for me, obviously, but when she told her family, Jessica's reaction was just weird. Instead of being happy for us, she got all quiet and started asking a ton of questions. When is the money coming? Which bank is it going into? Are you sure the lawyer is legitimate? I just chalked it up to her being her usual nosy, controlling self, but then she started dropping these weird hints to Chloe. You know, a lot of guys change when they get money. Are you sure you can trust him with all that? Maybe it should be in a joint account for your future. Seriously, this woman was a walking red flag factory. About a month later, the money was supposed to be transferred. I waited and waited. A week went by, nothing. I called the lawyer, and he confirmed the transfer was initiated and should have cleared days ago. He gave me the transaction details. I called my bank, and they had no record of it. Zero. $250,000 had just vanished into thin air. Panic doesn't even begin to cover it. I felt sick to my stomach. Chloe was trying to be supportive, but I could see the worry in her eyes. I spent days on the phone with the bank, with the lawyer, trying to trace this ghost transfer. This is where Jessica swoops in, playing the concerned older sister. She starts telling Chloe, "See, I told you something was fishy. He probably has a secret account. He's hiding it from you." She was planting these toxic little seeds, and honestly, it started working. Chloe and I started fighting. The stress was unreal. I'm running around like a headless chicken trying to find a fortune, and my own girlfriend is starting to look at me like I'm some kind of criminal mastermind. All because her snake of a sister is whispering poison in her ear. The breakthrough came from the most unexpected place. I was going through my own bank records line by line for the 100th time, and I noticed a tiny detail I'd missed. A notification about a new linked account that was added and then removed from my online banking profile just a few days before the transfer was scheduled. I didn't add it. I called the bank's fraud department immediately. They looked into the IP address that accessed my account to add this new external account. It wasn't mine. So I did a little digging on my own. I used one of those online IP lookup tools. The IP address traced back to a specific internet service provider in a very specific neighborhood. Chloe and I were at my place when I got the result. Just for the hell of it, I typed Jessica's address into Google Maps. It was the same damn neighborhood. A cold dread washed over me. No way, it couldn't be. I looked at Chloe and just showed her my screen. Her face went completely white. Chloe, to her credit, didn't hesitate. She grabbed her keys and said, "We're going to her house, now." The car ride was dead silent. When we got there, we walked in without knocking. Jessica was in her living room, scrolling on a brand new top-of-the-line laptop. She looked up, startled. Chloe didn't even say hello. She just said, "Show me your bank account." Jessica immediately went on the defensive. "What? Why? That's insane. You can't just barge in here and demand to see my finances." But Chloe was a woman on a mission. She wasn't taking no for an answer. The argument got heated, screaming, crying, the whole 9 yards. Finally, I just cut in. I calmly said, "Jessica, we know you accessed my bank account from this house. We have the IP address. The police are going to get involved if you don't show us right now. They'll get a warrant, and it will be 1,000 times worse for you." Her face just crumbled. The fight went out of her. She knew. She was caught. With trembling hands, she logged into her bank account on her new laptop, and there it was. A recent deposit for $249,000. She hadn't even bothered to hide it. Well, she'd moved a few thousand around, probably for the laptop and whatever other crap she'd bought, but the bulk of it was just sitting there. Chloe just stared at the screen and then looked at her sister with a look of such profound betrayal, I'll never forget it. Jessica started bawling, making up some pathetic excuse. "I was just holding it for you guys. I was worried he would leave you. I was protecting you, Chloe, protecting her, by stealing my inheritance and trying to frame me as a liar and a thief." The absolute audacity of this woman was mind-blowing. Who does that? What kind of sociopath thinks that's a logical course of action? Chloe wasn't buying it for a second. She just looked at her and said, "You are no longer my sister," and walked out. We went straight to the police and then back to the lawyer. The evidence was overwhelming. The IP address, the bank statements, Jessica's pathetic confessionate was an open and shut case of fraud and theft. Her parents, of course, tried to intervene. They begged me not to press charges. They offered to pay me back, plus extra for the trouble. Their main concern wasn't that their daughter was a felon, but how it would look to their friends. The sheer delusion was incredible. I told them to get lost. This wasn't about the money anymore. This was about justice. Jessica had tried to ruin my life and my relationship out of pure spite and greed. She was going to face the consequences. The legal battle was messy, but the outcome was never in doubt. She was found guilty. She got jail time, not as much as I'd hoped, but enough to shatter her perfect little world. She lost her job, her reputation, and her family was a complete wreck. Chloe completely cut her off, and their parents were forced to pick a side. It fractured their entire family. Chloe and I got through it. The money was eventually returned, and we used it to buy our first home, far away from her toxic family. Sometimes, taking out the trash means setting the whole dumpster on fire. The record is closed. I post daily, so why haven't you subscribed yet?